All right, so today we start the final piece of our puzzle. So we have, again, remember our polynomial. We check to make sure there's nothing that needs to be simplified, rearranged, or greatest common factor removed. And then, of course, we have a binomial, a trinomial, or a four-term polynomial. We've already learned the three special types of binomials and how to factor them. We learned about how to do a factor test to find out if a trinomial can be factored. And if it can, we learned how to do backwards FOIL on that. Now, the last section of what we need to do is a four-term polynomial. What happens when you have something that has four terms and we need to factor it? And so what we're going to use is a grouping method. And the good thing about this one is that the grouping method is just a section of what we already learned for backwards FOIL. So there's nothing new here to learn. We just have to use it for what we're doing. Okay? So this will complete our map. Once you've done all of these, we've completed them all, your map will be something that you can use for anything that we're going to see in this class to factor. You're going to repeat the processes as needed. Powers are one you're probably done, but if not, check to make sure there's not anything else that you've missed, and then prove your answer. So keep that in mind. Okay, so we're going to start our notes today, and we're going to be doing grouping. So remember, we always start with 3 steps. We always start with simplify, we always start with rearrange, and we always start with remove GCF. Okay, so what we're going to start with here are our descriptors, our criteria. How do I know if this is something that I can use grouping on? Okay, well, first off, it has to be a 4-term polynomial. That means it's a polynomial that has 4 parts to it, 4 terms. It's the same as the grouping that we did in the backwards FOIL method, okay? And it's going to factor into 2 binomials, okay? Just like the others have. All right, so here's how we're going to do this. We're going to rewrite it in standard form. Here are our steps. Rewrite it in standard form, and we're going to use this as our standard form for a 4-term polynomial. Okay? You're going to group the first 2 terms and the last 2 terms. Don't forget the signs. You're going to remove the greatest common factor. And you're going to separate what you have into 2 binomials. So really what we're doing here are steps 2, 3, and 4 from backwards FOIL. Okay? And so again, don't forget, you're going to repeat the process if the powers are not 1, and you're going to prove your answer. So here's your example. Okay? We have 2ax minus 2ay plus x plus minus y. We're going to go ahead and call that standard form. And then we're going to group the first 2 terms. So we're going to do 2ax minus 2ay. And we're going to group the second 2 terms. So x minus y. All right? Now, what we need to do for the third step is to remove the greatest common factor. So greatest common factor here is going to be 2a. When I take that 2a out, I am left with x minus y. Okay? Now, in this second one, if I look at x minus y, there is no greatest common factor. So the only thing that I can do is take out 1. Okay? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have a 1 here, and I'm going to leave the factor as it is. Normally we would just call that prime, but we do need to have something there. So 1 is our greatest common factor. All right? Now, final step, separate what you have into 2 binomials. So same process as before, x minus y is the common factor between the 2 of them, so that's factor number 1. And the leftovers, 2a plus 1, are going to be the second factor. Okay? Now, our process doesn't need to be repeated because all of our exponents are 1, but we do need to prove our answer. So we're going to take that x minus y and that 2a minus 1, plus 1, and we're going to multiply it back out. And we're hoping to get this that we started with. So remember, x has to be multiplied by both of these terms. negative y has to be multiplied by both of these terms. So x times 2a is 2ax, x times 1 is x. Negative y times 2a is negative 2ay, and negative y times 1 is negative y. Now, it's out of order, but it is the same thing. If we rewrite it, we have 2ax minus 2ay plus x minus y, which is what we started with. So what that means is that this is going to be the correct factoring for this polynomial, okay? So that is the grouping method. Nice because we've already done it. There's nothing new here. We're just continuing the same process or part of the process that we did on backwards FOIL, okay? So down at the bottom here, the problems I want you to work on today, we have AC plus AD plus BC plus BD. Okay, I want you to do that one. It's a pretty straightforward one. Then I want you to do AX minus BX plus AY minus BY. I want you to do negative 2A plus AB plus 3B minus 6. And I want you to do 5y plus 15 plus 3x plus xy, okay? I want you to work those problems out for me. Okay, and that is where you will be left off. You do have 4 grouping practice problems that are also in your notes. So, I'm sorry, 5. So make sure that you complete those as well, and we will go over those. So if you have any questions, make sure you ask for help. I'll be happy to help with anything that you need help with, okay?